Welcome back to our community. Susie Thomas visiting with Jenna Brown from The Nest. And let's make sure we get that email or the website again, the website address.
Yes,
go ahead.
It is www.thenestakron.org.
Thenestakron.org.
Yes.
Great. Now, Jenna, if someone's listening from Tuscarawas County or Holmes County or Wayne County, you are welcome to all, or are there other organizations that would be closer to their home?
We do not have nests yet in those counties. However, we do have moms that come all the way from Cleveland down to us. So they're coming from everywhere, to be honest, as well as we have every one of our programs that we offer moms or families. We have Facebook groups for, which all of our families love. And there's moms and families on them from all over the U.S. and even internationally on them now. So
it sounds like what you've got going is something that could be duplicated across the country. Are there plans to expand?
Oh, my gosh. Plans, fears? No, just kidding. Yes, we hope so. I don't know when, but we hope. Yeah.
You talk about the programs. Let's get into it now.
Sure.
What programs happen with the Nest? What does a meeting look like?
Yeah, so we have Becoming Mom, which is for moms who are pregnant through 1 year postpartum. That is serving that specific range of topics.
Okay, let me stop you there. Now, particularly, the Nest was founded because you wanted to address postpartum depression in all of its different forms.
Yes.
These are women who have not had a baby yet. So
Correct.
Are they just getting in there being proactive about it?
Yeah, well, that's just honestly one avenue of something that we do with mood disorders. I would say that's like 10%, maybe less, of what we actually do. It's kind of like how we're addressing that is through creating this safe place for moms and for families.
So not only if you've had a baby, but if you're having some mood disorders during pregnancy,
yes,
this is a great place to find.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Help. And if you're not, I mean, there's tons of moms and families that are not struggling. We get asked a lot, like, is this for moms who are like have something wrong with them, or for families who are really struggling? And it's literally for everyone. We are not aiming it towards a support group style of like, you're all struggling, you all need to get through this, but more of a style of we're actually walking through life together and journeying together, and this is kind of a natural part of it. And so trying to reduce that stigma associated with it.
Are the women struggling in separate groups, or is everybody together?
Everybody's together.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you see as far as the way those relationships build? Someone who is having a very healthy, happy pregnancy with someone who's really having some difficulty. What do you see in those friendships that bond?
I think I see real friendship. I mean, isn't that real friendship? We're supposed to support each other and serve each other, because all of us have different times in life where we're struggling, whether it's with grief at some point in our life, or with mood disorder, or just with crazy toddler, like literally just crazy toddler life, or going back to school, or hormonal shifts. I mean, we're all struggling with different things at different times, marriage issues. I mean, yeah, it's just being real and just saying, hey, these are your issues, these are my issues, and just walking through life together, whatever that looks like, supporting one another.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, so you're talking about now that we're at while you're pregnant up until the first year. What other programs do you have?
We have Becoming Mom, that's what I just shared about, and then Mom's Group, which is for moms who are who have kids that are older than one or multiple children, and we have childcare during that time, and we talk about different topics concerning that time period, like discipline and how to keep your kids healthy when they're in school and all those types of things. In that community. And then we have a play group. It's called Mommy and Me Play, that we meet every Wednesday during the day, which is how it sounds. It's just an informal play group. We do birth classes. We have marriage classes. We have dad's programming that's just started up, which is just dads get together and be dads and dudes, and I don't know, they're men, and they do men bonding. They'll play poker, like do whatever, play cards, games, I don't know. So they get together, and then we have a mental health counselor on staff. We have a breastfeeding counselor on staff for breastfeeding support. What else do we do?
Who serves as facilitators for all these different groups? Do you have professionals or volunteers?
Professionals for our birth class, for our breastfeeding support, for our mental health counselor. They're all professionally licensed people. For our groups, we have our volunteers who have been around with us since the beginning. So more of, I guess you would call them veteran moms, but they're still usually in the same time frame of life.
Jen, I've got to say, you've done this right. You have really pulled together quite the organization. And it's how old is this?
3.5 years.
Yeah.
I know. It's bizarre. It's literally God. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing most of the days.
What did you do before this? What was your pre-nest life like?
Oh, pre-nest. What was life like?
Because you've got a gift. You've got the skills to do something. Not everybody can pull together a 501c3 and have it run so professionally.
It's pretty crazy.
And I wish everyone could see the face you made.
It's not just me. It's literally, I always say, I have the privilege and honor of being the upfront leader, if you will. But literally leadership, I think, is the people who are supporting the nest. It literally wouldn't exist without all of our volunteers and people who are in leadership. Everybody is sacrificing their time for this. So
you mentioned something that I need to circle back to, because I don't think we think of this. Adoption.
Yeah.
Moms going through adoption can suffer some depression as well.
Oh, yeah. And not even just depression. My husband and I have adopted, they were teenagers. They're young men now. Kin. So we're kinship adopted back 5 years ago now. And so we have a huge heart to be able to support the adoption and foster community within Summit County in more of a spiritual camaraderie way instead of there are support groups that are available, but we're doing it kind of a different approach with our foster and adoptive support group. So we do have that. I guess I forgot to mention that. That meets once a month. So
every time you mention a new thing, my jaw drops open even wider. So describe your family for me. What's it look like? You've got two adult sons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we have Bryce, who's 20, Logan, who's 19. We kinship adopted them 5 years ago this month. And then we have Hylan, who is 3.5-ish, almost 4, and Raina, who's almost 1.
Wow.
Biological. So,
wow.
Yeah, so that's our family. We're crazy.
But it sounds kind of awesome, too.
It is really awesome.
And it sounds like the nest is sort of a family affair.
It is, yeah.
That you're seeing your own experience be able to really feed into and nurture and help other people going through just walking this thing called life.
Yeah, absolutely.
If people have friends that they say or they see some kind of flags, weepiness and so forth, maybe isolation or something like that, because sometimes it's not all that easy to identify something going on in our own lives, but we might be able to see some triggers going on in other people's. What steps do you suggest they take?
I would serve them. I would literally just humble yourself and serve them. I would bring them a meal. I would talk to them. I would listen to them, actually, before I would talk. And I would ask them about what it's been like. What transitions have they gone through? What was their birth like if they just had a baby? Let them talk it out. And if you feel like, hey, like in my spirit, something's, encourage them in that moment or encourage them to have community. Ask them, who is your community? That's what I ask a lot of people. Who is your community?
If they say nobody right now, my husband travels a lot.
Send them to the nest. Oh, absolutely. Send them to the nest. If they're struggling in their marriage, send them to the nest. If they're a believer, send them to the nest. If they're not a believer, send them to the nest. It doesn't matter. There's no discretion. At the end of our mission statement, we're serving families in all their forms. So we really want to embrace all family. What does that look like? So
right now, somebody is saying, wow, this is an answer to prayer. Where are you located?
We are located on 91 in Ellett, 752 Canton Road.
And let's say that one more time.
91 in Ellett, 752 Canton Road.
And remind us again the website where people can get more information.
www.thenestakron.org.
I'm guessing that your faith has played a big part in all of this because, like you say, my goodness, most things don't get this up and running and organized and connected in 3.5 years. We'll address that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
what kinds of things where you've seen God's fingerprints all over it?
Literally everything. I think the biggest thing is just, I always laugh and I joke with people that I'm just like running to catch up with the momentum that's going. I feel like God had this dream and he let me be a part of it and spearhead it. I don't even feel like it's really my dream. I feel like it's something that he was just like, finally, let's do this. And I'm excited about what it's going to look like. I think that it's transformational. My biggest, my faith role in it is I think that God has placed each person in society and all spheres of society to be on mission for his kingdom if they're believers. And I believe that my part in that is to spearhead what it looks like to transform the family unit. I think that another revival of the gospel, I don't know how much it can stick without family being restored these days, because family is super broken within our society. So my hope is to help restore that and, like I said, heal the brokenhearted, create a safe place for people to strengthen their families and to change this generation and this next generation in a real and authentic way.
You have a fundraiser coming up.
We do.
We don't want you to leave without talking about it.
Yeah. December 3rd, out at Camp Carl in Ravenna, we have a ladies' holiday Christmas tea. It's our favorite event. It's so beautiful. Kicking off the Christmas season, we have a couple speakers coming from kind of all walks of life, different women that are going to talk about what does it look like to be a noble woman of character. And they all are super different. So I'm excited about that.
Who were the speakers? Tell us.
Bethany McKinney, Todd McKinney's wife. Alicia Lay, she's a pastor's wife of the chapel in Kenmore. Sharon Daly, she's our lactation counselor at the Nest. There's a couple others. But yeah, it'll be really, really good. And then we serve like a really ornate 4-course tea. It's so beautiful. And then there's a holiday boutique that you can shop at, and it will benefit the Nest. So it's huge for us, but it's also really fun to just pour back into the ladies who have supported us.
And this takes place at Camp Carl from 9:30 to 12:30 on December 3rd.
December 3rd.
Tell us some ideas of some of the things, maybe the crafts that we might be able to find there. Do you have any idea?
I'm actually not even semi-involved in the crafty things because that's not really my forte.
But there will be a boutique.
But yes, there's a lot of awesome boutique items, different little mixes and like teacher gifts that you can get. We're selling T-shirts. We're selling a couple of the craft vendors local in the area have donated some of their artwork to sell different things like that. So,
and a tea for people who have not ever experienced the 4-course tea that's like a high tea. It's elegant and fun. Tell them what they can look forward to.
It's just I think it's a cherishing time. If that's one word I could explain it, is just cherishing who you are as a woman and just having a day set aside. You don't have to be super fancy, but just a day to set aside to just, invest back into yourself and be honored and cared for. And we really want to do that well for you. So.
I love the way you put that because it is an experience. It is fun. It's just wonderful. So
you get to be a lady.
And you do, a really fancy lady. So how do we get tickets? And
you can get them on our website. So thenestakron.org, and then go to events. It's right up at the top, and it will take you right there.
Jenna Brown, thank you for all you're doing in our community.
Thank you so much for having me.